Hello everybody and welcome back to the Snapthis channel. And in today's video we're going to be playing around and having a look at those Snapchat games. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Snapthis channel. Now today's video, like I said in the introduction, is about these amazing Snapchat games. Now they're not new, so it's not an update, but I just wanted to show them off because they are pretty fun. Now my name is Carl Lightning and I help you guys out in the Snapchat community with your Snapchat queries. So let's get into this video about Snappables. So before we kick off into the main content of the video that we're going to be looking at the games that are out now, just going to talk about the history of the Snapchat games. They've not been out long. You're looking about 10 months that they've been out, but they have changed majorly in those 10 months. If we take a small trip down our memory lane, you'll see from this advertisement how they marketed this game. It was all to do with how you moved your head and your mouth, but you'll find now that they're more interactive with how you place your finger. So the original games were played a bit like this. You would hold your phone in front of you, you would see yourself and you'd be looking at the phone. And you'd have a game in front of you, whether it was eating carrots, blowing bubbles, but you'd basically be moving your mouth. Very weird shot, but that's what you'd be doing to play the games. And the one who moved the mouth or made the most noise technically usually won the game. I'll try and find some examples to show on screen. If not, you're going to have that awful take of whatever I just did. Now moving on to the next phase of games that they released, and these ones are more photo orientated and these are still being used in the app today. Now two good examples of this is the pairs game and the Tic-Tac-Toe, which requires you to take a photograph and then use that photograph to play the game. Tic-Tac-Toe is very obvious. You've got the board like the traditional game, you tap on a square, take a photo and send it to the friend, and that is like your X in terms of the game. They respond with a photo which is like the circle, and the one who gets 3 in a row is the winner. And the same with the pairs one is as you go through you find your face, and the more pairs you make the better. I'll leave some examples of those two games because they are still available now, and I think those ones are pretty awesome, even though that these next games throw them out the water. So these new games that I've been talking about that are going to blow the old ones out the water are more finger orientated. Now they've also took on the spin of original games as well. So games you're playing on Snapchat just have a fun and creative spin to games you already know about. Now we've got Battleships, which is called Pool Battles. That one's an awesome game. We've also got a treasure hunting game where you have to crack the code with your friends and you only get so many tries. That one also is a fun game. And the final mention I'd like to say is Soccer Pocket, which is basically a handheld version of foosball. Now how these games work is they're all different in their own little ways. Like take the football one here or soccer. All you've got to do is pull your counter and fire your ball into the goal. Now obviously you get 1 turn per go, so I would have a go, then I'd send it to a friend, they would have a go, and the one who scores 3 goals first is the winner. Now you don't really win anything from these games, there's no prizes, Snapchat don't send any money out, but you do increase your Snapchat score, and that's what we've been talking about this year on the Snapthis channel, is how to improve your Snapchat game, and Snapchat score is one of those things that you can do. And the final type of game that Snapchat have put into their Snappable collection is drawing games. Now you may know that the pen tool has been in Snapchat since the beginning, so it was only time that they can join the games and the pen tools together to make some awesome creations. Two honourable games that I'd like to mention is obviously the drawing charades. This is a good one where you're given a pad, a short amount of time to draw something, send it to a friend and they've got to guess what it is. And then my personal favourite, which is like draw your own filter. So you get 2 things to draw, you get an eyepiece and a headpiece, you draw it and then you just basically send a selfie. There's not really a winner to that one, but I find that really fun just to have a mess about with. So those are the Snapchat games. Obviously we've gone through the past now to the present, but I've not actually told you where to find these, because if you're new around here you probably don't know where to get these games. And they are pretty simple. You tap onto the camera screen and when the filters come up on the left hand side, when you swipe over to there's usually about 5 to 6 games that you can play. Now Snapchat have said to me that they are on rotation, so if you've got a favourite game and it disappears, you've got to wait a short duration of time for it to come back, because they do change it to keep the app nice and active, which I think is a very smart move because it does get you to try new games out. Also, keep your eyes peeled on the right-hand side of the carousel, because sometimes the games can make it onto the right-hand side as well as the left. I'm not sure why they're not herded together, but of course the escapees do make it onto the right-hand side. So once you have played your game, all you're going to do now is send it like a normal Snapchat to whether one friend or multiple friends. It's up to you who you want to challenge on these games. And basically what happens is once you've sent it, it will receive into their friend's screen as a normal Snapchat, which is the red notification square. square, and when they tap onto that, they will see the game in its current progress. Now, if they would like to join in, tap onto the game, and you'll see at the very bottom it'll say try lens, and once they tap onto that and press play, they are now into the game and they take their turn, and then they send it to you, and then rinse and repeat. If you're after a real challenge, you can also add the Snappable games to your story and challenge everyone on your friends list. How many returned games you get? I can't tell you because it depends on how active your friends are and how challenging they want to be. Now, I'm a massive fan of the Snapchat games, and ever since day one I've been trying to play almost all of them. They are pretty good in terms of time fillers. They are great for the bus, if you're watching telly and the adverts are on, or even if you're cooking food. They're just little 5-minute fillers that you can play with your friends. Now, my only issue with these is sometimes you can get trapped playing them, or you can lose them very easily, because if someone sends it you, because it comes in as a red chat message, you just think it's a normal snap, and once you open it, and if you're in no place to finish this game, you either lose it or rush it. So my issue is, maybe Snapchat, if you are watching, if you can get a dedicated area for the games to go back to, just in case you couldn't finish it at that point in time. I did mention this in my 2019 video. I thought on the profile screen, or the friendship screen as you call it, could have a section for games where you can return to them. But of course, I don't work for Snapchat, but if you're watching, if you can take this feedback in, that would be great. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching Snapthis today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I really do appreciate your time when you come to the Snapthis channel. Snapchat, I've mentioned about those games that they do rotate, so if your favourite game or the game that you've seen today is not in your carousel, you only have to wait a short duration of time before it reappears again. So don't worry if your favourite game is not there, and there isn't a way of scanning a snap code to get your favourite game. It's the whole idea of getting you to try new ones. If of course you're new around here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you can of course subscribe, and if you enjoyed today's video, then leave us a like. Also in the comment section below, let us know your favourite game or anything that you want to talk about in the Snapchat app. The comment section below is there for you. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.